Okay, welcome to lunch, everyone. Hopefully you're enjoying your tacos. We have 3 awards that we're going to give out today during this award session at lunch. And again, thank you for giving me your time during lunch. We appreciate it. These are great awards to give out. I'm going to handle the student poster contest, so hopefully you had a chance to look at the posters. We had 8 students enter the contest this year. They are adjudicated by Dr. Mary Skopek, and then this year our visiting scholar, Dr. Nancy Rabelais, also interviewed the students and looked at their posters, and they were judged on organization, discussion, visuals, content, and their abstract. So I do have the 3 award winners. We don't always get our students here for lunch on the second day, so if I say their name and they don't stand up within, let's go with 6 seconds, I'm just going to move on to the next one, okay? So everyone can count with me. All right, so we'll start with 3rd place to build the suspense. 3rd place prize goes to Emily Martin from Iowa State for impact of pyrolysis temperature and biomass source on biochar as a bioreactor amendment, okay? Clapping. 6. Okay. All right. And we will mail the awards and the prize money. Prizes are $50 for 3rd place, $75 for 2nd, and $100 for 1st place. So our 2nd is Aaron Atchison from Iowa State University with is iron shuttling a driver of harmful algal blooms in East and Westlake. Okoboji, East and West Okoboji. Either way. Okay, Erin. Yay, she's here, so keep clapping. I just realized I have nothing to hand you. Okay, that's okay. Congratulations. Okay, great. We're very organized here at the Iowa Water Conference. Okay, and so 1st place is also from Iowa State University, Forrest Williams, stream bank erosion as a phosphorus and sediment source in central Iowa. Yay, there we go. Yes, standing up, 6 seconds. All right, congratulations. All of the posters were excellent this year. We hope you'll come back. We hope if you know students, you'll encourage them to enter the poster contest. We love seeing the student posters. And I'm gonna turn it over to Pat for our photo contest winners. I'm going to turn it over to Pat to put on a mascot head, and then I'm going to go sit down.
Sometimes I've learned you have to do crazy things to get people's attention. And actually, Gil the Bluegill is ISWEP, Iowa Stormwater Education Partnership's mascot, and there's a transfer today, so Gil is going from Davenport to, actually I don't know the next location, it might be the city of Ames, so anyway. But okay, so photos. I really appreciate all the entries. Those, I think we all appreciate the beauty that you share with us through your photography. I encourage you. I get to move it up because I'm taller. Do you want me to start with the bluegill part again?
Put her back on.
All right, I will. No. Okay, I want to thank all of those that submitted photos to the photo contest and sharing the beauty that you captured in the water resources in Iowa. I encourage you to think about, as you're out and about this next year, that almost sounded like I was a Canadian, out and about, that you take photos and share those with us at next year's event. So, we're going to start from 3rd to 1st place. I think I need glasses for this. Okay, so 3rd place goes to Neil Schaefer for Wetland Reflections. And Neil, are you here? Woo, all right. Oh, okay, all right. Okay, and 2nd place goes to Hunter Slifka for Dawn's Early Light. Oh, sorry, I didn't stand still long enough. Okay, and 1st place goes to Feeding Spotted Sandpiper, Jeff Tissel. Lance here? He is here? He is here somewhere? Okay, all right. And I would encourage those that entered photos, please, let's try that again. Please feel free to pull your photos off of the display boards downstairs. Last year, it was really funny. I put so much Velcro on the photos, I could not get the photos off of the board. This year I learned. We use less Velcro on them. So anyway, thank you.
We're having some sort of horrible technical. Okay, I'm gonna stand here and hold this. Please give money to your local universities so that they can afford technology that works. Just got our budget cut. Go for it.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Sean McMahon with the Iowa Agriculture Water Lines. And I'd like to thank Melissa and Hannah and Rick and the Iowa Water Center for the opportunity to present the first ever Iowa Watershed Awards here at the conference today. So welcome and thank you for joining us for this ceremony. So this awards program is sponsored by the Iowa Agriculture Water Lines and was developed with our partners at Iowa State University, Conservation Districts of Iowa, Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship, and the Iowa Department of Natural Resources. And the purpose is to honor watershed coordinators for their contributions and dedication to improve water quality. I'd like to thank our partners and judges on the selection panel for making these awards possible. And we have Jim Jordahl, who's Director of Programs and Operations at IWA, Jamie Benning of Iowa State, Linda King from CDI, Will Myers from IDALS, and Bruce Troutman from DNR. If the folks from the selection panel could please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Thank you very much. We got a lot of applications in the first ever year of this program, and the panel did a great job. I think you'll agree once you learn about the 7 winners today. So each of today's 7 award winners will be receiving funding from IWA for their local watershed program and also for their own professional development purposes to try to help maintain the great momentum that they're building through the watershed approach. The watershed approach targets conservation practices to where they can be most effective. It's being used to improve water quality in watersheds throughout Iowa. The new annual IWA Watershed Awards program is intended to incentivize high performance among Iowa's watershed coordinators in implementing the Iowa Watershed Approach. So joining me today to help with our program is Jamie Benning, Water Quality Program Manager with Iowa State Extension and Outreach. As many of you know, Jamie works with internal and external partners of Iowa State to support water quality improvements efforts throughout Iowa. She's also a member of the IWA Advisory Council and is the founder and leader of the Iowa Watershed Academy.
All right, thanks, Sean. It's been an honor to work with IWA and the rest of the partners to establish this award. I very much look forward to and appreciate the work I get to do with watershed coordinators, and it's great to have the chance to honor them in their progress that they're all making toward improving water quality in Iowa and meeting the goals of the Iowa Nutrient Reduction Strategy. Coordinators that we're honoring today, and all coordinators, are really critical to the future of the success of improving water quality in the state. And their day-to-day efforts, their boots on the ground, helping to meet local goals, are really a big piece of that meeting the nutrient reduction strategy. And I and the other judges reviewed the application and looked at all that came in this inaugural year. We were very, very impressed with all of the great work that these watershed coordinators are doing, and was really just reflected in, or a great reflection of all of that they're doing in the state. The criteria that we used for this award is based on the logic model approach that we're using for the Iowa Nutrient Reduction Strategy, and is really a great pathway for success for all water quality improvement. So there was information that we requested from each of the applicants on the inputs, the funding and the in-kind support that they're garnering from partners, the human changes that they're making with events and outreach that they're doing with the public and education and outreach, with changes on the landscape, so the number of practices that they're encouraging implementation within their watershed, and then changes in water, which are our ultimate goal. So progress that they're making toward monitoring and documenting those changes. So I just wanted to reflect upon that a bit so you knew what kind of information was going into these awards, or what was used as the way to judge them. So I'm going to turn it back over to Sean to announce our winners.
Thanks, Jamie. Well, the watershed coordinators, here in this room are absolutely key to improving water quality. We think of them as really the unsung heroes of improving water quality throughout the state. So we're really pleased to be able to honor them today and show some much deserved recognition. So we're going to start with our Circle of Excellence Awards. And our first honoree is Amanda Brown with the Central Iowa Watershed Management Authority. Please come down, Amanda. So Amanda's can-do attitude and guidance really shines through in her leadership roles on WMA projects. Amanda truly lives up to the boots on the ground name. Her success includes working with farmer leaders, and I personally got to watch Amanda in action last year as we're pulling together a lot of different partners on a new prototype for a high-clearance interseeder. And Amanda engaged farmer leaders, and we wound up scaling up about 5,000 acres of cover crops as a result. And her project has fostered expanded urban and rural collaboration as the city of Des Moines, and I see Jonathan Gano is here, is helping to fund upstream conservation practices through Amanda's projects. And Amanda would also like to acknowledge that her efforts have very much been a team approach, and I see John Swanson is here and is Jennifer Welch here as well. Okay. Hi, Jennifer. Also with the Soil and Water Conservation District. So thank you, Amanda. If you could please wait right there with your award. We'll have all the awardees join you momentarily. So next I'd like to recognize Colton Meyer with the West Branch of the Floyd River project. Colton graduated from Iowa State in 2010 and has really hit the ground running with his project. Colton is a go-getter with lots of initiative, and he's partnered in collaborative conservation efforts with his local co-op, FCS, and also groups like Practical Farmers of Iowa, Iowa Farm Bureau, Iowa Corn, and the Iowa Pork Producers Association. Colton's project showcases nutrient reduction practices with a special emphasis on accelerating adoption across a broad section of the agricultural community. Thank you, Colton, for your perseverance and success thus far in improving Iowa's water quality.
Thank you.
So our next honoree is Mindy Seek with the Poweshiek Little Bear Creek Watershed Improvement Project. Mindy is noted for her fantastic outreach and water quality monitoring skills. With lots of engagement from partners, volunteers, and numerous events in her project, over the past year, Mindy and her community have helped landowners work with the Poweshiek County Soil and Water Conservation District to plant many more acres of cover crops, establish 18 water and sediment control basins, and also nearly 3,000 feet of terraces, as well as many urban conservation practices. Thank you, Mindy, for your unwavering commitment to the adoption of conservation practices that improve water quality. And next, we would like to recognize Shane Wolf from the Miller Creek WQI project. a recognized conservation leader here in Iowa, Shane has demonstrated outstanding project performance and community engagement. Shane's efforts engaging local farmers have led to Miller Creek Watershed having 6,500 acres of cover crops, which amounts to 20% of all the row crop acres in that watershed. That's about 7 times the state average, so really phenomenal work. This year, he also helped to launch the Miller Creek Challenge with IWA, farmer leaders, and soil and water commissioners like Jerry Thornsberry and Sherm Lundy. Is Sherm here today? Sherm, all right. So we really are amazed by Shane's work through a unique community outreach platform in his watershed, and his hard work has clearly paid off. Congratulations, Shane. Our final Circle of Excellence Award recognizes a project that is truly a team effort, and as a result, there are 2 awardees. Therefore, we're honoring 2 coordinators, Velvet Buckingham and Brian DeMoss, with the Protect Rathbun Lake project. If you could please come down. Since 2004, this project has provided assistance to nearly 600 landowners in the watershed. Outreach efforts have ranged from recognition to landowners through the Rathbun Lake Protector Program, to large signs installed on county roads and state highways, to countless press releases, media interviews, and podcasts to encourage farmer adoption. This highly qualified duo of field professionals has conducted hundreds of contacts with landowners through in-person meetings and phone calls to build personal connections to sell conservation, ensuring the success of the Watershed Project. Thank you, Velvet and Brian, for your team effort. And now if we could please have a round of applause for all of the Circle of Excellence awards. And now we'd like to recognize the 2018 Watershed Coordinator of the Year. Please help me congratulate Lee Gravel of the Headwaters of the North Raccoon WQI Project. With Lee's innovative approach and dogged determination, he has been instrumental to the local collaboration and success of the Headwaters of the North Raccoon Project. In his first year on the job, Lee has navigated through many obstacles, including a very high percentage of absentee landowners. Nevertheless, Lee has persevered and managed to engage several landowners and enroll them in edge of field conservation drainage practices, including 11 new bioreactors. Lee has also worked with farmer leaders to increase adoption of strip till and cover crops. Thanks to his tireless efforts in the Headwaters of the North Raccoon Project, the project has experienced a 400% increase in cover crops from 2016 to 2017. And that represents about 10% of all of the row crop acres in the watershed. The judges on the selection panel took special notice of Lee's innovation, his quiet can-do attitude, and his passion for conservation. The tremendous success of his project speaks for itself, so congratulations, Lee. So in closing, in the spirit of this conference and these new Iowa Watershed Awards, I'd like to make all of you aware of an upcoming opportunity this summer to attend the One Water Summit, which is in Minneapolis on July 10th through 12th. The One Water platform is all about bringing together urban and rural partners to find the most cost-effective ways to improve water quality, really in the same spirit of collaboration and cooperation as our awardees today, as well as this conference and the Iowa Water Center. So we hope that you'll consider joining us in Minneapolis in July. I was a recognized national leader of the One Water platform. The last couple of years, IWA has organized delegations to the summits in Atlanta and New Orleans, and Iowa actually had the largest delegations each of those years and the most balanced delegation in terms of having both urban and rural representatives. And we hope that this year will be the same. So we're hoping to get a lot of folks from Iowa attending the summit. Two of our awardees, Shane and Lee, attended last year. So if you have any questions, you can ask them about their experiences. With that, I'd really like to thank you for your attention, and please join me one more time in congratulating the Iowa Watershed Award winners.
All right, well, that concludes the awards presentations during lunch. Peter said yesterday we're supposed to surprise and delight people, so I hopefully am surprising and delighting you by telling you that we're not beginning our afternoon session until 1:15. So you have plenty of time to chat with people about the things that you've learned and make new connections. But that said, I expect you in the auditorium at 1:13 so we can begin on time for a really great afternoon sessions. Thanks, everybody.
Nice talking to you guys.